समोरच बस ठेवणार
We shall wait for 5 minutes and then we shall start. I request faculty members to kindly post a message for students in case they are joining.
दोन्हीच एकत्रच करून मी पण कालचा आज आणि पण आज आपण सूरज संध्याकाळी तुझा डेटा ऐक ना ते कोणतं वाकडे विचारते किती वेळ लागणार लाईक विल यू टेक टिल 5:30 टू हॅव अन आयडिया पुढे गोष्टी लँड कसं पाहिजे अनेकाला उचलायची वेळ Yes, ma'am. सगळी समजा Guess नाही आहे
Morning everyone. Morning respected principal ma'am, esteemed guest speaker, faculty members, student participants. A very warm welcome to day 2 of the faculty development program exploring hospitality horizons, navigating the latest trends, organized by AISSMS College of Hotel Management and Catering Technology Pune. To begin this day on a high note, I request everyone to please rise for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Thank you everyone. To kick off today's session, it is my pleasure to introduce a guest speaker for today's day 2 of Faculty Development Program, Ms. Smriti Raghubalan. Professor Smriti Raghubalan has a professional and academic experience of about 22 years. She is the co-author of the best-selling higher education textbook, Hotel Housekeeping Operations and Management, published by Oxford University Press, which is being used in Indian and multiple international universities. This textbook is used for training purpose by multiple management institutes too. In her academic stint, she has been the NAC coordinator and assistant registrar at the university level. She has been a guest speaker with Oxford University Press, Tata Strike, and academic events organized by multiple universities. She has moderated several panel discussions on invitation in the field of housekeeping organized by various hospitality expos and PHA. She has hosted many professional events as a master of ceremony. She was an executive committee member of Professional Housekeepers Association, having curated several national conventions of PHA. As a former managing editor of the popular e-imposing of PHA, Voice of Housekeepers, she was instrumental in reviving the biannual magazine of PHA and bringing it out as an e-imposing. She has been featured as a celebrity author on the web platform Indian Women in Hospitality. She has been honored with International Hospitality Day Award 2019 by the International Hospitality Council at IIHM. She is also the recipient of the award for outstanding contribution to education in India in 2022 at the Teachers' Day Award by IIHM. She has been honored at the Authors Conclave in 2016 at Lovely Professional University. She has recently ventured into writing novels and self-publishes them. Her novel being called The Call of Maua, a gentle medical romance. We are honored to have you here with us today. Now I request our principal, Dr. Sonali, to kindly participate the guest speaker for today's function. so much, ma'am. Ms. Kriti Raghupalan is going to deliver on facility planning and management in hotels. I now request her to take over the stage. Let's listen all attentively and absorb the valuable knowledge she has to offer. We have our specialization students also who are available. Over to you, ma'am.
Good morning, AISSMS.
Good morning.
Am I audible at the back? That was the idea. Right. So, I have studied in Pune long back, and it's so nice to be back here in this city, though it's changed a lot. And one thing I would like to start off is with a positive vibe. To start off with, can we commend this entire team of AISSMS for having clinched this FDP? I think out of many colleges, your proposal was selected and you all are sitting here making use of this opportunity. Can we have the entire team? Right. Now, how many are actually faculty of accommodations here? Okay, thank you. And how many have taught this topic, facilities planning here? Oh, okay. Right. All right. So, for those who have taught, you know there's nothing very new in this subject, but yes, I have done a lot of research on my part so that I can deliver something a little bit more than what is there in the books, right? So, pardon me that a lot of this content, those of you who are teaching, will be repetitive for you, right? But for others and for students, it will be helpful, right? So I will start off. You know, facilities planning and management, these are two huge topics in themselves. And a separate book has been published by Oxford University Press. I'm sure you're all aware of that. And to condense that book in one small capsule so that I can deliver it in about 2 hours, it's a huge task, right? And I really hope that small capsule which I'm intending is not a capsule for it's not like a sleeping pill. Alright? So let me start off. Okay, that's just an overview. I'm not going to read each and everything. So it's an overview of what you are going to hear me speak about today, right? Quickly, if you can just go through. You will notice that I am concentrating more on accommodations part than F&B areas, all right? Because that will take another 2-3 more sessions. And again, the facilities management part, I'm curtailing that too a little bit. Right. So the first thing there, we start with the usual thing. First, let's define a facility. Any show of hands, especially if students can answer me. Students, have you gone through this course on facilities planning already? Yes. Just show of hands, that should be okay. Have you gone through already, students? Or is it completely new for you?
Some of them.
Okay. Alright. Some of you have gone through. Fine. So what's a facility? we need to put all this in perspective. What do you mean by a facility? Quickly, one point each, if you can give me. What's a facility? We'll come to planning later, but let's start with facility. I know people usually are not comfortable talking in a gathering, so fine. Because I do not have a lot of time, I'll start off. So, facility is basically the entire building that you are dealing with, the entire building structure, whatever components come with it, the grounds which are surrounding it, the building systems. You have the HVAC, you have the, what is the full form of HVAC, students? Are we clear about that?
Heating,
Air conditioning, right. So then you have plumbing, electrical, all these systems, plus the interior finishes, furniture, fixtures, equipment, all these are part of your facility, right? So you're going to plan for all these when you say facility planning, right? So today's session is on facility planning and facility management. So we need to differentiate these two terms, all right? So can you just quickly go through? Can one student just read out for me the definition of facility planning? Please, anybody? Yes, thank you so much. Loudly.
Hospitality facility planning versus hospitality.
Just the definition of facility planning.
Process of defining the activities that will be conducted within the hotel, allocating the requisite space and establishing relationship between the spaces to achieve maximum operational efficiency.
Right. Thank you so much. So, you in this stage, please remember this is not construction. It is just the planning part. So, you are deciding what activities will happen in your hotel. What is the relationship between the spaces which you are going to allocate for these activities, okay? And how can you achieve maximum efficiency in this planning of the spaces, okay? And facility management is basically your organization, control and coordination of strategic and operational processes of a hotel, so that you ensure efficient operation of all what you have planned and what is constructed. Alright? So, in accordance, it has to happen in accordance with the legislation in the field. And you have to sustain a safe, productive environment for your guests and employees. That's why you manage facilities. Now it's a huge field. Facility managers get paid royally, I should say, much more than a hotel housekeeper. But you have to have that hotel housekeeping background to become a facility manager, right? Alright. Let me go back to the slide. Can somebody tell me the one major difference between facility planning and facility management? Quickly. Before and after. So basically what you see is this is just an outline of development of hospitality facility, how it happens in phases. So what you see is facility planning happens completely in the designing phase, and then once you have constructed your building and you are operating it, then comes facility management. So it is after construction. So that's the major thing you have to keep in mind. So these are two vast different subjects, right? But they affect each other. Am I clear? Is this space okay? Right? Okay. So quickly, what is the need for hospitality facility planning? It influences the cost of operating positively. So it ensures that if you have planned well, you will be in profit later, right? If planning goes wrong, I'll give you examples later. In some hotels, planning has gone wrong, right? So aids compliance with laws and regulations. That's why you are planning. You are taking all this into consideration and planning, and it helps meet future requirements. You may need expansion later, right? So provides degree of flexibility, versatility and expandability. So you need to convert many times, most of the times in hotels, you need to convert one space into multi areas, right? A twin room converted into a double room and things like that. So it should be easily be able to be done. Helps acquire finance if presented well. What you have planned, because your finances you will start bringing it in from this stage itself. So unless you have planned well, nobody is going to be interested in financing the project. So you better plan well. So we need to understand that all this, your hotel project, it is a high capital cost expenditure project, right? So can you give me an example of a capital cost? Anything? Anybody?
Cost required for interior.
Yes, cost required for interiors, then
Building equipment,
heavy equipment, yeah, right? So it's all very expensive. So capital cost is very expensive. So you need to plan well. Otherwise, you would have purchased a machinery and then later realize, oh, I don't need it, right? So you have to plan well, and each and everything should fall in place. So these are all fixed investments. And to procure most of your raw material, it's going to have a long lead time. So I'm sure everybody understands lead time. I'm accommodating students also here, so I'll be going, sometimes I'll be going a little, a bit more towards the understanding part. So long lead times means from the time you purchase, give the order of purchase, and by the time the item is delivered. So that's going to be a long period for some of the inventories. And safe, convenient and attractive facilities attract employees. Yeah. So I know many of your students would have told you the back area is awful, I don't like working there and all for this hotel. But some hotels, the back areas is impressive, the people like to work there, right? So you need to give employees also comfortable facilities, right? So all this needs a lot of planning, right? What are the factors in facility planning? Many of these are easy to understand, so I won't go too much into detail. A lot of it I'm covering later also. So good location and site is important. Architectural features, what kind of look your building will have, what kind of features in terms of architecture, arches, or will it be a contemporary style? So you all have to keep it in mind. Then your concept. Is your brand going to tell a story? Most of the hotels now plan for a story. I'll expand on this a little later. The company's policy. A lot of these decisions are influenced by already set policies which a company or a brand has. Functional and operational efficiency, you have to look into that when you plan facilities. It is not only the aesthetics. It should not be that, oh, it should look beautiful. A lot of people go in for that, but then functionally it will be a disaster. So efficient plan schedule, right? So make a schedule that you can follow. It should be realistic. Aesthetics also are important, and guest comfort. Sound financials, yeah. You have to be financially, on the path. Otherwise, the projects will see hindrances in the construction stage. Then your business planning has to be good. Logistics. So how the raw materials will come in, how the construction materials will come in, how does the labor come in, what is the warehousing, where is it going to be, right? So good workmanship. A lot of technology is involved nowadays in hotels. So where is the the logistics of technology, how the technology is incorporated, all this is decided in the planning stage itself. You cannot construct and then say that, okay, let's introduce. That can happen, but it will increase your cost. If you plan for all this during the planning stage, before construction, the cost becomes lower. Then, of course, regulations by government and the town planning department have to be kept in mind. Right. So, what's the team involved in? So, there are basically two phases. One is the pre-design phase, when you are just conceptualizing, right? So, the developer is involved, he's going to bring in the finances. The feasibility consultant, a very, very important role. We are going to discuss this a bit in detail later. The hotel management company and the architect. These are the people involved in the beginning stage, and then you have the actual design phase where the actual planning is happening, and the developer, architect, the company, the interior designer comes in, and the food service consultant comes in there, right? So this is the basic team involved. Okay, let's look at the stages. Conceptualization. Basically, what is going to be the idea behind building this hotel? What are your objectives? So, what is the thought process in the developer's mind? What is in the mind of the hotel management company? All this needs to be discussed in the conceptualization stage. Then comes the onboarding of various experts, which I mentioned in the team. Yeah? And then, of course, the feasibility study. Whatever you have conceptualized, will it be profitable? So that's what the feasibility study is going to prove to you. By the way, this, all the slides, the presentation I'm going to leave for you, alright? It will be given to all of you, so you need not, write each and every word. Then two documents come in here. One was the feasibility study report. Then two documents come in, the project brief. The project brief is important to get in finances. So objectives, what is the objective of the project, the hotel, the budget, the time frame, when it is going to be, what are the phases, what is the time frame for all the phases of the hotel, and finally when the project will be ready, and the quality specification for the project. So this is the project brief, and then another document comes in is the design brief, the summary of activities. This is the planning part. What